How's it going?
Travis, good, dog. What's going on?
Nothing much. You?
Not much. Just at the gym. Just finished up a little workout.
So tell me about your workout. How'd it go?
It was good, man. Just a light one today. Just a little bit of skipping, shadow boxing, double M bag, speed bag, a little bit of light bag work. Nothing too crazy. I got a fight coming up at the end of the month, so today was just a light day. I got strength and conditioning tomorrow, a little bit of sparring this weekend, but today was just a light one. Just a good sweat, stay loose.
So tell me about your upcoming fight. Tell me about that.
Well, I got a fight at the end of the month in Mexico. Kind of treating this like a tune-up fight, but obviously not looking through the opponent. They know how to fight down in Mexico, but coming in as the A side, we're hoping for this to be a little tune-up, just shake some of the rust off. I haven't been in the ring in a little while, a few months, so first fight back in a little while, and then we got a call not too long ago about a pretty big fight opportunity in April. I don't want to say too much because nothing's on paper right now. I don't want to jinx it, but yeah, a little tune-up fight down in Mexico at the end of the month, and then looking to sign something for something big in April.
So in April, who would be the guy you're fighting? Like, give me a hint.
It'll be a local belt. It'll be for a local belt, a local title. So another up and coming Canadian prospect.
And are there any opponents out there like that you really want to fight? Like, but you got to climb the rankings first to fight them, but you want to fight them.
Absolutely. I would love any of the top Japanese fighters right now, any of the top Mexican, any of the Latinos, anybody in the top 10. That's what I'm looking at. Like again, I'm still kind of building myself up right now. I haven't had any big fights, so just kind of building the record, trying to make a little name for myself, and then like as far as like specific names, yeah, maybe one day get to dance with Bam Rodriguez. I think he's right now P for P, one of the little guys. So yeah, something with Bam down the line, that'll be a dream come true. But anybody can get it right now.
Because you're 12-2, and you're only 28 years old, so you got plenty of time in the ring.
Absolutely, yeah, I got time. Right, I think I'm kind of coming into my prime right now, but I don't feel any ways am I slowing down at all. I only feel like I'm getting better every single day. I feel like I get better.
Now, walk me through a regular day of training for you.
Well, I guess every day's a little bit different. Like I mean, I've been doing it for so long that I kind of just pick up where I left off. Like I'm very much of the mindset of a little bit every single day. I like to think of chipping away at the process. I don't try to go in the gym and do, 4 hour or 3 hour workout and burn myself out. I try to do a little bit every day. I have 2 times a week strength and conditioning. So if I have a tough strength conditioning and I'm planning to do a twice a day, then I'll obviously modify my workouts. But when I get closer to a fight, if we know about the opponent, then we'll dial in with our sparring partners, bring some specific sparring partners in. But just a little bit of everything, all the basic training, bag work, double M bag, shadow boxing, and then sparring 2 to 3 times a week. I like to spar very frequently, but occasionally just light stuff, get 10, 12, 15 rounds in, but just touch, moving, technical stuff. And then when it's fight time, we dial it in, turn it up a little bit, make sure we're battle tested and ready to go.
And tell me about your discipline as a fighter.
Honestly, man, I love it. So it's never really hard for me. Like there are obviously there's obviously adversity in the ring that you have to deal with, but it's like I just don't even see it. I don't even see it as discipline, motivation. Like it's just something I should be doing. Honestly, the toughest tests are outside the gym. It's a like I got big beautiful gym. It's a privilege to be here. It's a privilege to be in the ring. It's a privilege to train under the coaches that I have around me. It's the things outside of the boxing gym. Just making sure your finances are all right, making sure your friends, family are okay. Like that's honestly I think what requires the most discipline. It's easy to go to the gym. I don't need anybody telling me to go to the gym, get your road right. That's what I love to do. So it's honestly, if anything requires discipline, it's making sure your head's on straight outside the gym.
And tell me about your coaches. Who are you trained by?
Right now, my training is being overseen by Billy Martin. So Billy Martin, head coach, manager of Hard Knocks Boxing Club. He's had a handful of world champions, female world champions. He actually had a two-time world champ under his tutelage for a little while, around the same weight. He's got right now he has a North American champion that he's training. So this guy's been around the game. He's been around for years and years and years. He knows all the little details, and yeah, I feel very very confident with him in my corner for this upcoming fight.
And tell me about your mindset going into the ring.
I, I just I try to keep things simple. I try to keep the thought process simple. You know, I'm not trying to over plan and overcomplicate something that's, you know, a left hand and a right hand. Like I know what I'm good at. There's not really much that I'm not good at when it comes to this boxing shit, but I just try to keep it simple. I try to keep my thoughts relaxed. I try to find balance. You know, it's there's a lot of excitement coming up to fights, and I think sometimes, you know, in the past I've let that excitement fatigue me mentally. You know, it's good to visualize your rounds in your mind, and like that weighs on you. So I just try to keep my mind calm. I try to stay balanced and just make sure everything feels simple. You know, no big surprises, and no getting too excited and getting caught up in the hype. Just keeping things smooth.
And tell me about pressure. How do you deal with that? Like you're nervous before a fight. How do you deal with that?
I don't believe in that shit. I don't believe in pressure. Pressure is something we make up, right? It's like, you know, they say a real test of someone's manhood is how they deal with pressure, but like it's made up. Again, this is a privilege to do all this stuff. I love this stuff. That there's no pressure. Again, be outside the gym. That to me, that's the, you know, making sure your bills are paid. That's pressure. But being in the gym, I love this shit. There's no pressure.
Now, how did you get the name Captain?
I had a few nicknames, but I just felt like the captain, the leader. I grew up on a sailboat, so I didn't. Growing up as a kid, we didn't have an apartment or a house. We me, my mom, and my dad. We had a little boat that we grew up on. It's a pretty crazy story, but yeah, you know, it's pretty much kind of just homage to my dad, who's still around, but he, you know, he was the captain of the ship. You know, it was like growing up on the boat. You have to adhere to certain rules. You know, it can be dangerous at times. So, you know, have a lot of respect for anybody who's in that position of leadership, being a captain, being a coach. And I thought, what better way to pay homage to my greatest role model than to become the captain himself.
Tell me more about living on the boat at a young age.
It was all I knew. So, you know, I guess now that I'm, you know, I've had the opportunity to be in an apartment and all that kind of, like, I know what it's like to, to be on land, but like it was all I knew. So it was hard, you know, as a kid I didn't really couldn't compare it, because again that's all I knew. Like I knew my buddies, my friends, they live, again, they lived on the land, right? So it was like they lived on the land and I was on the water. And I guess at times it felt kind of lonely, but I think it forced me to again respect those leadership roles, because you don't know what's going on, and things can change on a dime when you're on the water. So I had to really have serious respect for those who knew what was going on, those who came before me. And I guess it just, I became very self-reliant too. Became very self-reliant.
Now, do you have a job like away from boxing?
I used to work in kitchens. I dishwash. I was a line cook, prep cook, grocery stores and shit. But the last year or so, like I've been making enough money doing this, so I've spent all my day in the gym. I teach classes, I teach group classes, I teach kids, I teach adults. So just teaching boxing, fighting, sponsors. Like I'm fortunate enough to kind of make my living right now, just through boxing. It's obviously not, you know, the end. Like I'm not at that stage where I feel like I'm, you know, I'm where I want to be. Always there's always another stage, but life's good, man. Life's good. Everything's in the boxing gym for me.
Do you have a goal of becoming a world championship fighter?
Absolutely. I've only ever trained to be a 12 round championship fighter. And, you know, it kind of bit me in the butt as an amateur, because I was stubborn and I didn't want to listen to coaches, and I didn't want to fight the way they wanted to fight. I always in the back of my mind, I want to be a 12 round championship fighter. I want to be able to break somebody down over 12 rounds. I want to be So it's like, and again, it was my mistake. I should have listened to those who came before and built myself the right way. But at the same time, it's kind of worked in my favor because here I am still doing my thing. I never won a nationals. I got losses, but I don't give a shit because I want to be the best, and I've only ever wanted to be a 12 round championship fighter, and I know that day will come.
And tell me about your amateur background.
I had about I had between 50 to 55 fights. One of my record books actually got lost once, so we don't even have some of my older fights. But I had about 50 to 55 fights. I was Ontario champion 3 times, twice in 2 different weight classes. But I competed nationally. I had a little bit of international experience, but nothing at the elite level. But I'd been around, like growing up in Toronto in Canada. There's a lot of different guys coming into the country, a lot of people from different countries. So even though I kind of stayed local, I still got, in my eyes, international experience because there's a lot of people coming and going through the city. So it didn't have anything, no big international tournaments. But I fought in the States. I trained a little bit in England, and then lots of local fights.
Now, tell me about your fighting style as a professional fighter.
So far it's if I can feel the knockout, I'll find it. If I feel like it's going to take me some time, I'll take my time. I think I'm becoming a fighter that can do it all. I think naturally I'm fast, and I have natural speed, and I have natural timing. I have an ability to see something and figure it out. Honestly, I kind of think, deep down, I'm a scared fighter. I think I like to capitalize on people's aggression, but I can do it all.
Now, who are some fighters you like to watch today and learn from to get better?
I'll tune into stuff that's going on right now just to be a part of the buzz. But like, I watch a lot of guys that maybe aren't still fighting. Like, I was actually watching with my pops last night. We were watching some old Roman Gonzalez fights. Like, I like to watch champions who are just consistently dominant because they're doing something right. Guys who are kind of up and down and in and out. Like, it's, I don't want to call it luck, but when you see a champion that is consistently dominating opponents in a similar fashion over and over, Chavez, Duran, Roman Gonzalez, and we got the Bam Rodriguez, like these guys who are just they're winning in dominant fashion. I like to watch those guys. I like a lot of the Latin fighters, but honestly, probably the most studied for me honestly probably be Roman Gonzalez, Chocolatito.
And tell me about your running routine as a fighter. What do you do when you're running? How far? Do you do sprints, bleachers?
Again, a little bit of everything, but I don't go too crazy with the running. I think a lot of guys take the running a little too seriously, and it's like marathon runners don't fight 12 round fights to run a marathon. I don't know why these guys are burning themselves out on the road, but every body is a little bit different. So some guys respond really well to that kind of training. Like, I just I use it to feel good. Like, I use my running to feel good and almost kind of meditate a little bit. All my conditioning I do in the boxing gym. Like, I have a strength conditioning coach, and we do our explosive work, plyometric work, speed work, power work. But in terms of that, like, long distance endurance type stuff, like, I don't really think running 10 miles, 20 miles does much if you already have a good a wide base. So like, if I feel like I'm out of shape, which that doesn't exist, I'm in the gym every day, but I'll do more rounds, or I'll pick up the intensity of the rounds. I'll just try to you know get that sport specific conditioning from my sport.
My brother was a fighter, Joe Smith Jr.
Yeah, man, I know Joe Smith. Yep.
Yeah,
Of
yeah, he was a good fighter.
course he was champ. That's the champ.
So that's really all the questions I had for you. Is there anything else you would like to add?
I mean, stay tuned, folks. Like, again, I'm in the ring at the end of the month for a little tune-up. Any sponsor, I've still got a few sponsorship spots. So if anybody wants to help out, reach out at Captain Jack on Instagram. But yeah, just stay tuned. We got some big things coming up this year. Again, I got the fight at the end of the month, and then some big news later this year in April. So stay tuned.
And tell them more about your fight at the end of the month.
Like there's again, I know as much as you guys right now. It's kind of the deal with these fights down in Mexico. It's a little bit of a surprise sometimes, but we're still figuring out the opponent situation. But it'll be a 6 round. It'll be a 6 round fight. Uh, yeah, that's really all I know right now.
And one more question. Tell me about the 2 losses you had. How did you learn from those losses?
Being able to deal with my emotions, like the losses themselves were like they're one of them was a very competitive fight. It was very close. There were absolutely things I could have done to edge it. I believe I won both of those fights. In my first loss, uh I was counted. They counted me a knockdown when very clearly slipped. It's on tape. Have tape of me slipping on the logo on the canvas. And I was counted a knockdown. So again, it was a majority decision loss. That 1 point could have swayed it. So I don't really see it. It was
Yeah.
just how I was reacted outside the ring. Like I got very emotional and I had to learn to stay in control. And then the second loss again, it was in Mexico against a local kid, and I thought I beat the fuck out of him for like yeah, I was pretty confident going out. I was using the first couple rounds. I just stayed on the outside, touch and moving. Turned it up in the last couple rounds. Almost stopped him in the fourth. But was very confident that I had the decision. And you hear that long pause, and the first judge scores the draw, and you're like, hold on, what the hell's going on? So again, it's more the emotions outside, like the whole winning, losing. I don't give a shit about. I want to be the best. I don't care about what somebody else is writing on a piece of paper. So it forced me to stay in control and stay focused and make sure I'm just focused on the mission. Not worried about these little blips.
Okay. And that's all I have to say for you.
Right on, Travis.
All right. I'll see you, man. Good
Thank
talking
you,
to
man.
you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, bro. I appreciate this. Take care, brother.
I want to have you back on.
Hell yeah. Hit me up, man. Yeah, when I come back in January, hit me up.
All right. All right. See ya.
My man. Yes.